Oh, Steve and Larson! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for yourselves and feel the power. Yes. And all you people out there, you're watching Going In Raw with Steve and Larson.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, taped live right here at the Twitch, at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Before we kick things off, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the new patrons over there at the patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Dave Moffitt, Kerwin Carlson, Rafael Ramirez, and Fender Ben. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
If you're a patron, a YouTube channel member, or a Twitch sub, you get access to all sorts of great bonus content. You get access to the Steve notes that I keep during each of the wrestling shows that we watch during the week, and some other perks for joining us here at the Friendo Club. Smackdown tonight, the go-home episode to Clash of Champions. By the way, we'll be doing our live reactions. At the youtube.com/Steve and Larson this coming Sunday, starting at some point during the kickoff show. And then for the recap, the live podcast recap, we'll be heading over to the Twitch for that. So please join us. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, go home episode. I thought it was a pretty solid episode. I mean, there was kind of a lot going on. But I'll say this. I'll kick things off by saying this. I kind of feel like the Roman Reigns Jey Uso match after what we saw tonight, which I thought was really great stuff from Roman and Jey. I don't think it's going to be quite the bloodbath, man. I think it's going to be a spirited performance from Jey. Roman, there's a little bit of reluctance on his side to be too heavy into Jey. What was your take on what happened tonight?
No, I gathered that too, especially when we had Roman come out and Superman punch Jey at the end of the show. I thought they were going to wait till Clash to have any violence. Any action between the two of them. That didn't happen. So I see, like, Jay's out there to prove a point. He's just not happy to be there. He's out there to prove, hey, Roman, you've been top dog since we were kids. Hey, but we're not kids anymore. So here's my chance, my opportunity to prove that I could be top dog too. I feel like it's going to be, well, it could be this spirited performance from Jey. Roman gets the upper hand, utterly annihilates him because Jey put forth a spirited performance.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. So the idea that Roman is solidifying his place as head of the family, and he starts to view Jey as an actual threat, and he sort of overcompensates for that. That's an interesting way to take it. I just don't think it's going to go into the Brock Lesnar trying to lobotomize Randy Orton, where it just seems gratuitous, which is where you and I both thought that would be a really cool place to head. The whole, it's like what Bayley said tonight to Nikki, if I did this to my best friend, imagine what I'll do to you. I felt that's what we were going to get from Roman. Now I really actually loved the layers that we got tonight, the family dynamics. I thought Jey acting like just sort of an overbearing idiot to kick things off. And then when Roman said his piece in the end, and Jey, the best line was, everybody says you're top dog. Everybody looks at you and says you're Roman Reigns. Everybody, when they look at me, they say, which one are you? Which was so effective because you could totally tell that it's probably true, because I still have a hard time telling apart. So they're twins. What do you want from me?
Yeah, no, you have to look at the tattoos.
You got to look at the tattoos, exactly. I thought that was super effective.
That was a really good line. And it could be a thing where it is a spirited performance from Jey. Roman does get the win, and maybe on the following Smackdown. At some point, Roman's going to annihilate him. Whether it's a Clash, whether it's on Smackdown the following week or the following Smackdown. At some point, Roman is going to basically tear him limb from limb.
I don't know. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm of the opinion that he could just as easily, put him down on at Clash, and then have Jey join him. I mean, the bonds of family obviously run really strong in Roman. It's just he understands. It's almost like there's this burden on Roman that he has understood that he's got to be this person now. And like what I saw from him tonight is he doesn't necessarily like it.
Yeah.
But it's a necessity because
he views it as a necessity. Yeah.
Right. And the line that he used when he said, I'm not just trying to feed my family, I'm trying to feed the entire family, the entire dynasty is basically what he's saying. I think he could have even taken it a step further and said the entire roster, because of what he said earlier about you don't know the burden of being the face of the WWE. I think that's like really, really interesting ground to mine in terms of why he's got, such a nasty streak now. I thought it was really, really strong stuff.
Yeah, it was good stuff. We saw some good stuff from Alexa Bliss tonight, foreshadowing potentially a bout between The Fiend and Roman Reigns. We'll get to that more later. There's some good stuff with the Intercontinental title scene. The opening segment between the three participants in the ladder match on Sunday was a bit long but effective. The match was pretty good. Even the Baron Corbin Matt Riddle match was pretty solid, although it didn't work out exactly that well for Matt Riddle. It was all around a pretty solid show tonight.
I'll be honest, man. All the matches, I don't have many complaints about any of the matches. I honestly thought that Riddle Baron Corbin match. Where's my darn notes? I know I gave that the highest number of stars.
It was a good match.
That was a really good match. Yeah, I don't know about Matt Riddle. I don't know if the outside the ring situation.
I believe the appropriate phrase would be pumping the brakes.
Yeah, there you go. Pumping the brakes.
Whatever push they may have had in line for him.
Because he should be, like at this point, all things being equal, he should be in that ladder match. He really should be. He absolutely should be.
That seemed to be the trajectory early on.
Instead, they dig up the last guy he had he had a feud with and beat seemingly to move on, and they used him. Hey, you have chemistry with him in the ring. He's going to go over now, and it always feels like there's a little bit of a message with this kind of thing. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, we can just kick this off because I thought there was quite a lot of good. Our predictions for Clash of Champions is going to hit tomorrow morning, so you can see how we feel about a lot of these matches. But we'll give you a spoiler or a preview of that with this first segment. Corey Graves comes out, goes over the match. He's got everybody in there with him. He goes over the match for Clash of Champions with the IC participants. AJ's the first person to pipe up. I believe, anyways. I got into this like 3 minutes deep.
Yeah, he was. Corey Graves was talking about how the importance or how historical
prestige.
This match is because it's the first time they call it an Ascension match. They'll have both the belts up there. Whoever gets both belts is the undisputed Intercontinental Championship. He didn't mention that at WrestleMania 10, HBK and Razor Ramon's ladder match was similar type thing. Both belts are up there.
Wait, dude, it's not just similar. I mean, the only difference is there wasn't a third person, brother.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. It was like, oh, it's the first time this happened for three people.
Oh, why would you ever say first time for this particular match? It's a very famous match.
They didn't call that one the Ascension match either. So.
Oh, okay. Is that what they call this? The Ascension match?
Yeah, he said this is like an Intercontinental title Ascension match.
Is it taking place in the Wasteland?
Maybe.
Well, anyways, AJ's the first to get on the mic. Basically says, Jeff Hardy, you cheated. Sami Zayn, you left for the summer to grow out your neck beard. Didn't I? And on top of that, I beat you last week. Sami gets on the mic and he retorts, none of this should even be happening. AJ, you were the fraudulent champ when you won that tournament. Jeff Hardy, when you won it off the fraudulent champ, you should have called me immediately, denounced the title, and recognized me as the true Intercontinental Championship. Jeff Hardy then retorts, Sami, shut up. I hate to say this. I agree with AJ. Sami, you should be grateful because we've been here defending this title in bouts week after week after week. So let's just get this over with. We'll hang these up now. So they go and they put the titles up, and they're still jawing a little bit back and forth.
Yeah, AJ's talking all sorts of crap.
He's talking all sorts of crap. Yeah, he's on another level there. And there's some great TV framing. A lot of the TV direction tonight is actually really good. So you've got like the hard cam, not the hard camera, but you've got a camera, and you have AJ and Jeff Hardy sort of facing each other, and as Sami Zayn is leaving, he's sort of in the middle of them, but he's framed underneath like the ladder that's in the ring also, and he looks at both them going at each other. Once again, the odd man out, so he pushes the ladder down onto them. He starts going up. Adam Pearce comes out, and he says, "Hey, for that, you're in this match that was originally going to be AJ versus Jeff Hardy. Now you're in this match as a triple threat match." And
hold on, it was supposed to be Jeff Hardy and Sami Zayn. That was what the match was scheduled, right? Yeah, Jeff Hardy and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this says a SmackDown
okay, so did he just say that AJ Styles is in it now? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I think Corey Graves at some point said the originally scheduled bout was AJ versus Jeff Hardy, but that was
on the preview. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
It was Sammy versus Jeff Hardy was on the preview. Yeah.
Okay, so Scrap Iron says, "Hey, now you're all in the match." Okay, that makes sense. They added AJ. Okay. So anyways, we get that match, and it's a pretty good match. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
It was solid. It was solid. A lot of good stuff back and forth. Sami Zayn scored himself an opportune victory. AJ set up for phenomenal forearm. Jeff Hardy charges him. He drapes him over the top rope, punches Sami, hits the phenomenal forearm on Jeff Hardy, and then as soon as AJ makes contact, essentially, Sami tosses him from the ring, covers Hardy for the win. And then AJ kind of goes ballistic, hits Sami and Jeff Hardy with the ladder, sets up ladder, climbs, grabs the title, ensuring that he is not winning on Sunday.
Okay, well, hold on a second now. If you're saying, okay, so here's the preview for predictions. I predicted Jeff Hardy. You predicted Sami Zayn. When I saw this match was being made into a triple threat, I texted you, and I was like, man, we're about to find out who's not going to win come Clash of Champions.
We did. AJ Styles ain't winning.
He
touched the titles.
But I don't disagree. But Sami Zayn ain't winning either because he won the match tonight.
Yeah, but he did. It was an opportune victory. He could see. Sometimes they do this stuff. Remember the stand tall math only holds true about 60% of the time. All right. I guess AJ stood tall here.
This is different. This is different math, though. This is different math.
Well, the math that's pretty secure. It's probably like 75, 80% of the time that if you're in a match at a pay-per-view in the go-home show, you touch the title.
Do you have any math to actually back that 75?
No, it's just remember the only outlier I could think of is Baron, but he did it twice before winning King of the Ring, so I think he did it once and then did again to cancel it out. Anyways, I forgot what I was going to say. I don't think this. I think the reason they have Sami win tonight was like, oh, by the way, Sami can't pull out a win. He might not be as in WWE's eyes the wrestler that AJ or Jeff Hardy is. I mean, he is, but I don't think WWE, pushes him that way. But he could score an opportune victory. AJ ain't winning at this point. I mean, if the math holds true, AJ ain't winning.
I don't think either of the bad guys have a chance at winning, but I do think it's going to be a really, really fantastic match. This is going to be a show-stealing match. It's going to be really good.
I don't think Sami's out of it. Jeff Hardy will probably win, but that's why I said when we did predictions, I said I'm going down a limb here and picking Sami Zayn because I think it propels the story further.
You only got one confidence point on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's also, I think, the only match we disagree on.
Yes,
but there's all sorts of math in terms of our confidence points.
If one of the matches we agree on, if that person loses, it can mess stuff up. And I was very particular about how the finish of the WWE title match is going to go down. So that's a potential extra point for me to score there.
There you go. Yeah, you could make up at least 1 point.
Watch the predictions video. You can hear about that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's episode, NordVPN. Sometimes the internet can be a great place, but it can also be very scary, full of hackers trying to shoot on your personal data.
But you can protect yourself with NordVPN. NordVPN offers double data encryption and lets you browse the web in private because NordVPN prevents data logging. In fact, NordVPN will never track, collect, or share your data because they have a strict no logs policy.
And NordVPN is compatible with most operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, and Android, and offers 24/7 product support and a 30-day money-back guarantee to ensure your satisfaction.
NordVPN also has a super handy and user-friendly Chrome extension and provides unlimited bandwidth on super fast servers with up to six simultaneous connections.
And right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 68% off NordVPN, only $3.71 per month. Plus, you get an additional month for free at nordvpn.com/raw, or you can use the coupon code RAW. Otis and Tucky have an interview after that. Of course, last week, Otis was given 1 week by Mrs. Lawyers to decide on whether he's going to hand over the Money in the Bank contract or risk going to court over this. He said, my mom taught me not to trust. Did he say clowns? Or did he say carnival clowns?
He said carnival clowns, yes.
Carnival clowns or lawyers. Miz interrupts and says, my lawyers, they're not trying to hurt you. They're just trying to help the WWE Universe get a real Mr. Money in the Bank. So there's some John back and forth. And then Tucky, looking at the contract or looking at the lawsuit or the contract, I think, realizes that...
No, it was a lawsuit. It was a lawsuit.
It was the lawsuit. That Mrs. Lawyers only put Mrs. name in the contract as the person that the Money in the Bank needs to be relinquished to. And before John Morrison really had a chance to respond to that, Otis went ham and attacked.
So, yeah, John Morrison was like... doing an Instagram live thing.
He wasn't even. He claimed to be doing that, but I checked his Instagram. He wasn't
Kayfabe,
Instagramming.
Man. Kayfabe, brother. So he's had his phone out, and then when the bombshell about Miz's name being the only one in there, he was like, "What?" And then it was attacked. Yeah.
So that adds a wrinkle to the storyline. I kind of like this. I'll be honest. I kind of like the storyline. I'm okay with it. After that, we had Bayley come out to cut a promo. She set up a chair on the stage. The chair on the stage, I should say that. She basically said, unlike whining, crying Sasha, she sort of reiterated what she did to Sasha last week. She said, I have a championship match to prepare for. So Nikki Cross last week, I overheard you say this was going to be different because I don't have Sasha in my corner. But think about why she's not in my corner. She was my best friend, and look what I did to her. Just imagine what I'm going to do to you. I expected, given her back was to the stage, that Nikki was going to run out and attack her, but that didn't happen.
Nope. Next, this is an instance where go-home math is not going to matter. Gran Metalik versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura dominated this match. I mean, Metalik got a handful of moves in, but he missed a moonsault. And then Nakamura hits a running knee to the back, reverse exploder, Kinshasa for the win. And so Lindsay is in to check on Gran Metalik. Cesaro effortlessly,
dude,
like he was picking up
a pillow,
not
even a sack of sand or something.
No, a pillow.
Dude, this was ridiculous.
Gut wrench suplexes Lindsay, and Kalisto's ringside. He freezes. He doesn't do anything. So Nakamura and Cesaro leave. Kalisto gets in the ring to kind of check on Gran Metalik. Lindsay shoves the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't consider this stand tall math just because Shinsuke won. The Lucha House Party is an abject disaster right now. They don't have a chance come Sunday. They ain't winning this. Don't sleep on this match, though. This was a really good match.
It will be really good.
Oh, no, it will be. But also this one that happened on SmackDown was a
good.
Really good match.
It was good. After that, we have Jey Uso backstage. He rolls up to Roman's locker room, knocking on the door, singing songs about him opening the door. Jey is playing his part. I mean, all the credit to Roman for doing a hell of for awesome performances week after week. Don't forget Jey Uso. He's played his part perfectly.
Absolutely.
Perfectly.
He's so overboard with being, hey, like they're kids, like they're still kids. And it wasn't until the very last segment when he responded to Roman did we get to see the other side of things. And you're right. He's played this great. So after that, we had a brief Road Warrior Animal video, of course, who passed away recently. We had after that a really good Roman and Jey Uso family video package. They had Sika, they had Rikishi, they had a Jimmy in there. This was actually a really, really well-produced thing.
It's 2 weeks in a row now they've had really good video packages hyping up this match. Basically, everything they've done to approach this match has been basically, I'm not going to say perfect, but really damn good.
I would have loved to have seen a crowd react to this, especially to see what kind of reaction Jey would get. This match, like for Jey Uso, it is absolutely tragic. This guy's been in his fair share of hot matches, all at the tag team level. To see a crowd get behind this guy and then to see Roman rip his and their hearts out would be great.
Would be great.
That being said, the video basically thematically was about Roman being destined for greatness. They even had a picture of him being held as a baby, as a toddler by Hulk Hogan versus Jey, who paid his dues every step of the way.
Had to work his way up to the top of the tag team division.
Exactly. Yeah. So after that, we get what was supposed to be the Jey/Roman face-off, but Jey comes down while Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns are watching from Roman's personal lounge. Jey comes out. He's just he sounds like an idiot. He's all week. So he throws to the video of what happened at the end of last week and the look. They hug, Roman's smiling. As soon as Jey turns around to walk up the ramp, Roman has that really, sinister look on his face. And he says, all week they've been asking me about the look. He's like, come on, how am I supposed to see this with my back turned? He says, Oos, what's up with the look? And it cuts to Roman in the lounge, and he just sort of has that very subtle nod to Paul. Paul sort of nods back to him.
Otherwise, he doesn't budge.
Doesn't budge. And he says, oh, nothing? Really, nothing? I thought we were better than that. Smile in front of my face and frown behind my back? What is it? Heyman comes out of the lounge, but not to the stage or anything. He's just sort of outside the door. And he says, I believe the WWE deserves to hear what Roman Reigns has to say in response. Here's where you have it all wrong, though. It doesn't happen when Jey Uso wants it to happen. It happens at the accommodation of the schedule of Roman Reigns, and I guarantee you that will happen in the ring tonight. Jey says, all right, I knew something was up. Roman changed his number. Paul Heyman's been checking his emails, but it's all good and it's all love because either way it goes, we're manning up. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Really good stuff. Next, we had a King Corbin promo. It was pretty short. Pretty much he just looking forward to making Riddle feel pain. And then he said, bro. It was like a play off the Faces of Bro thing.
Really lazy one. This was painful to watch.
At least it was short. It was really short for a Corbin promo. Yeah. Pain, misery, and agony. We have the match. Riddle comes out first. He has a promo, and he says Corbin wants to put him all through all kinds of pain. He's got anger issues. Been trying to make my life miserable, but can't keep a good bro down. I'm gonna show the difference between a stallion and a jackass. And before the bell even rings, Matt Riddle's right on Corbin. Starts fast. A lot of really good back and forth this match. It was actually really good.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Riddle escapes an end of days, hits a running knee, goes up top, goes for the floating bro. Thought that was it. Baron gets his knees up, hits end of days for the win. Somewhat surprising, but, I guess they pumped the brakes on old Matt Riddle there. Anyways, they at least gave Matt Riddle an interview. He's asked, how does it feel? This is a setback. He goes, well, losing sucks, but I'm not going to let this setback affect the Stallion. He's going to go make SmackDown the Bro Show.
We'll see if that happens. After that, Mystery Carmella is at her makeup desk. Her, what do you call it? The mirror?
Vanity.
Vanity, thank you, yeah. And she writes the word untouchable on the mirror in lipstick and then hides her face behind a Polaroid camera. Is there any chances of swerve and it ends up being like Melina or something?
You know what I thought? And I don't know, given everything that's going on, whether she'll come back anytime soon. What if it's Sonya Deville?
Oh, Jesus. That would be shocking.
It would be shocking. But the idea is obviously, she said all that stuff about Mandy, the blonde hair and all that stuff. What if she comes back with, like a blonde wig and stuff?
As like a diva type thing.
And kind of makes a mockery of the diva type thing.
That's a killer idea. That's a good idea. That's really good. It's too good
given
for the WWE.
But also, given everything that's going on with Sonya Deville, I'd be surprised to see her anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I know. I mean, yeah, part of me just thinks, okay, it's just a rebranded Carmella. Like, that makes the most sense.
That's what it's going to be.
Because she hasn't been around. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they did a bit of a swerve.
Have you checked out any of the? Because I know sometimes Corey and Carmella put up little clips of their podcast. They do the video of it, and I haven't noticed if because in these videos, Carmella has pretty light blonde hair.
It's like platinum now, yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't noticed in those videos if her hair is that light.
Yeah, I don't know if they have. Let's see here. She's. Oh, let's see. Well, okay, 1 day ago. I don't know how long ago this was. Let's see here. She has it up in a bun, but it doesn't look like platinum or anything. But
gotcha.
Again, I don't know when this. But this is something. This is. Oh, this is them. Okay. Hold on. Yeah. Honestly, inconclusive.
Yeah.
Inconclusive.
Well,
this is a day. Yeah, this is from a day ago. But I mean, when you get into hair and makeup, they can doll it up whichever way. I mean, it could be.
They could put a wig on.
Could be a wig.
Yeah. Rand Wildman here says pretty sure it's a wig.
Yeah, that would make sense. So
as Maggie says, the hair in the promos looks super treated, like it could be a wig or extensions.
Yeah, okay. All right, that makes sense. So yeah, after that we had Alexa Bliss versus Lacey Evans. Lacey basically dominated this entire match, including one bit where she does the thing where she springboards over and then does the kick, and Alexa went out. She was on the apron, went out of the ring and hit the floor pretty bad. But then Lacey Evans missed a moonsault. And then, like, the Fiend's entrance, basically, like all the lights turned red.
Before the commercial break, there was Fiend laughter, and she was like, looking around, kind of went to commercial, came back, and Lacey got the upper hand because Alexa was distracted by the Fiend laughing.
Yeah. So then we got like basically like the Thunderdome turned into the Fiend's entrance. But with like the Fiend, not his entrance music, but the siren type thing. And that's when she completely like flipped a switch, went batshit, and completely just started destroying Lacey. She started like kicking her head into the mat so much that the ref just DQ'd Alexa Bliss. They get to the outside. She hits another one of those Sister Abigails over there. This next part was absolutely great. She starts walking out. Oh, so they do like a close up on her because like the Fiend shows up and he's all let me in on the Tron, and they just great close up on her where she has this really demented smile on her face.
Yeah, she's like sneering at the camera. Yeah.
So she starts walking up the ramp. As she's walking up the ramp, Roman Reigns' music hits. And so he comes out, he barely glances at her. Like, it's just basically because there's somebody there, he sort of gives half a look. But as she goes behind him, she stops and turns around and just stares. And the TV direction is really good here. They frame it so you can see all three of them. And she's just staring at that title. This was a wonderfully blocked moment. This was really, really good stuff, man. I really like this.
This is kind of the long-term storytelling that I like to see in my professional wrestling, and hopefully they follow through on it.
I agree. I agree totally. This was really, really good.
After that, we have Roman and Paul Heyman's promo. Heyman starts talking first, says, "Now is the time." Before he can say anything else, out walks Jey Uso. Heyman hands him a mic. Roman asks Jey if he wants his side of the story. Roman said, "I'd give you the title if I could, but the truth is, Jey, you wouldn't know what to do with it. You don't understand the responsibility of being on top, the weight and the pressure of being the face of the company. It's not your fault. You're a twin. I'm not calling you half the man that I am. I'm saying your entire life you've been depending on your brother. You're one half of the greatest tag team of this generation, and their family is proud of them. But their family depends on Roman." Said, "It'll never be Jey. It'll always be Roman." Roman drops the mic, starts to leave, about halfway up the ramp. And Jey says, "What if you're wrong?" Like quietly. It
Yeah, I
almost
know.
got lost in, the piped-in crowd cheers.
Yeah.
He said, "What if you're wrong? Why can't it be? Why can't I be the one to provide for my wife and my kids?" It says, "All our life, Roman, you've been on top. When they see Jey, they always ask, 'Which one are you?'" He says, "Well, after Sunday, when they ask, 'Who are you?' they're going to know that I'm the one to beat Roman at Clash for the Universal Championship." And this whole time, Roman never turns around. He's just parked on the middle of the ramp, never turns around, just listens. And then Jey stops. Roman keeps on walking. So Jey makes his way up the ramp and rises about like the top of the stage. Out of nowhere, Roman comes in, bang, Superman punch. And he gets in Jey's face and yells at him, "I feed the whole family with this title. If you're going to try and take this title, you're going to take the ass whipping that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never take the title. He'll never take his place at the head of the table."
Well, the great line too was he says at Clash, "You're going to take the payday and the ass whooping that comes with it." What a great line. That was so great. I have never seen this level of intensity and authenticity from Roman Reigns. Never.
And everything
it was,
about this performance was like basically pitch perfect.
it was absolutely great. It was great. And this is how long term you get him to actually be the face of the company, because once he goes through this journey and he's back to being a good guy, people are going to eat it alive and they're going to forget all about Roman Reigns being shoved down our throats.
Yep.
This is good stuff. This is
It is really good stuff. All in all, a really fun show. Really fun show, SmackDown.
Absolutely. Let's take some questions. I've got a thread right here on the Patreon.
I'll look over here on the Twitch.
Sounds good.
Twine Winder, this is a question that is worthy of thorough discussion, and I think The Rock alluded to it. Does this head of the family angle lead to a match with The Rock? I mean, that's an obvious conclusion to be drawn to that. I think it depends at Mania if fans are going to be there, if The Rock's schedule is open. A lot of things are going to be dependent, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is the plan at some point, especially once fans come back.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that will be of interest, I think, assuming The Rock, follows through with this, if the stars align and it's able to happen, would be, will they get the desired reaction? Going into any match The Rock is in, he's going to be the guy that is cheered over anything else. I
think you do it, and that's with Roman as heel.
At that point, Roman has to be a Brock level heel. I want to see a slow burn. He has to do this with Jey. Well, he might have to cross a line that he doesn't want to cross, but eventually, like all good bad guys, they go past the point of no return. I mean, he does return, but he goes past the point of no return, and the apex of that should be The Rock. That's when he should be. That's when you get. And they wouldn't do this with The Rock because he's a big Hollywood star, but I don't know, man. If you're going to go all the way with this, then Roman needs to brutalize The Rock.
Oh, totally.
See if The Rock would be okay with that, because at a certain point you get into, hey, I'm an action hero. I know Roman's family, and so that might make things different, but his agents were negotiating with Jason Statham and Vin Diesel's agents over the Fast and Furious stuff and who gets in what punches and where.
Yeah, I know.
So, just saying. There's going to be some negotiations.
Well, it could be a situation where there is a highly competitive match. Roman bends the rules to get the advantage, and from that point on, even in Hollywood, you can have protected losses, I think.
There you go. Brandon Monroe, after the triple threat at Clash, who should be the next contender for the IC title and why? I mean, my only thing was, okay, how do you get from Jeff Hardy, my pick, to Big E? The other two is easy. Like AJ and Sami Zayn, it's easy to get to them because they're bad guys. So you need a bad guy in the interim to get Big E.
You just have Sami Zayn win at Clash. Done.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
I like it. I like it. I got a couple new subs. John A. Curley, Acadian Reaper. Thank you very much for the subs.
Thank you very much. Alex, I really do love the work Sami Zayn's been doing, though. It is really terrific stuff. Let's see here. Alex Foster. So if Raw was 6-1 one year and NXT won last year, could you guys see SmackDown winning Survivor Series this year, considering WWE loves their 50-50 booking? I think WWE does everything in the moment. If a long-term story plays out in the meantime, so be it. I think, you do see exceptions to that, like we're seeing with Roman Reigns and The Fiend right now. I think that's because Paul Heyman is up to that stuff. And, I mean, if Paul Heyman and Bray Wyatt are on the same page, that could be really cool stuff. But going back to this question about Survivor Series, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what story they want coming out of Survivor Series. If Roman Reigns is their big story, then SmackDown's going to have a pretty good Survivor Series if they involve him in brand versus brand stuff, which is not a guarantee.
Yeah, definitely not a guarantee. Zayabusa, Sammy's winning for sure, right? AJ literally grabbed the titles, and Jeff is obviously getting the high spot.
The high spot doesn't necessarily mean, well, number one, all three of these guys are going to be chomping to do the high spot.
Yeah, here's the thing: if you do your high spot before the ladder match, you probably don't win.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
If you do a high spot during the ladder match, I don't know if exactly the math is.
Well, I thought it was if you do the high spot during the ladder match, that is your win. You don't win the match.
It can be, but
if you do it before before the day, like in the go home.
Like Finn had the coup de grace off a ladder before the Money in the Banks. We're like, oh, not winning.
And he didn't win.
No.
Yeah, okay. All right. I don't know. Let's see here. After
go ahead.
Dwayne Nix. After Roman kills Jey this Sunday, who should be the next opponent Roman should destroy? I really want them to take their time getting to the Fiend.
Same. But that being said, they'll probably have that at Survivor Series.
They could do that at Hell in a Cell because they like the Fiend at Hell in a Cell. Remember last time?
Yeah, I know. Something about sports. Are they scripting two people grabbing titles with both titles up there? So are we going to have a situation where two people get those titles off the thing?
That'd be a ripoff. I don't like the thing, the brace they have for it. The frame they have for it, because it would allow for that. It needs to be one thing, and they're both, because then it's less likely to be that way. I don't think they would do that. I really don't think they would do that. I don't think they want a double situation here.
Yeah, I see the whole point of this match is for some finality in terms of naming an undisputed Intercontinental Champion. I don't know why they'd want to push it. Hip Hop Hippo kayfabe, though. Otis didn't opt to give up the briefcase, so that means they aren't having a match. They're having a lawsuit, right? Well, Otis says, hey, we're, growing up, we didn't settle things in the courtroom with lawyers. We settle things by fighting.
Yeah.
So it seemed to indicate there was no follow through on that. That maybe he's willing to put up that briefcase to get his hands on the Miz.
Yeah. What's Miz going to do with that briefcase, man? Who's he going to cash in on?
I don't know. They threw in that wrinkle where Morrison's not in the lawsuit, so Morrison might be hesitant to let Miz have that one when Morrison's been pretty adamant from the get-go about getting his hands on the briefcase. He's the one that kind of kick-started this whole thing anyways. In a lot of ways.
Yeah, this should be fun stuff with him and the Miz, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Moses opposes. If they are to break up, which member of Lucha House Party has the highest ceiling going forward? So obviously Kalisto has had the highest ceiling, or he's had the highest. He's
former U.S. champion. Yeah,
he's gone the highest. He's been in an Elimination Chamber match before. I mean, you'd think. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know.
I'm going to give the edge to Lindsay because I think he's the best talker of the three.
That's a good point.
Because he's a decent promo.
Yeah.
He's a decent promo. He's good. I mean, they're all great in the ring.
They're all great. Really good in the ring. They're all great in the ring. I agree, though. Lindsay's the best talker.
So I think that might give him the advantage. Dang MQ, best wishes to Naomi on her recovery from surgery. Yeah, she had to have some unexpected, I don't know if it's emergency, but unexpected surgery. I guess she was in a lot of pain, so I guess that's it. It was emergency. So, yeah, speedy recovery for Naomi.
For sure. Absolutely. Dog authority figure. If Jey somehow won the Universal Championship at Clash, would that be the most shocking title change ever? If not, what is the most shocking title change ever? That sounds like a great countdown. We should do another countdown at some point.
Yeah, sure.
Most shocking title changes
up there. I mean,
ever.
David Arquette winning would be up there. That's pretty dang shocking.
Was it really shocking at the time? Were we shocked that happened?
I mean, that was before
It was before Russo.
So, yes, in that sense, it was pretty dang shocking. The whole point of it was to shock.
I don't think either of us were that shocked.
Because I don't think either of us are really paying that close attention to WCW at that
I don't think either of us ever put it past WCW. At that point, Jarrett was champion.
Yeah.
I mean, what's more shocking? Is anything more shocking than Jinder having won in the WWE? I don't know what the reaction at the time was to Flair winning the Royal Rumble and winning the title. Bruno losing, that was probably...
Yeah, that's probably it. When Ivan
That's got to be it.
When Diesel beat Bob Backlund in 8 seconds at a house show, that's probably pretty dang shocking.
Hey, we got a raid from Zicky Dice.
Oh, thank you, Zicky.
Zicky was doing the crazy thing where he had a fanny pack talking again.
Oh, I missed that.
I know, I meant to tell you. I totally meant to tell you.
Every time I check out his stream, like his presentation is always great, but you always mention this talking fanny pack, and I really want to check it out. And
it has like a minor lisp, too.
I want to check out this fanny pack.
It's creepy as hell.
Got a couple more subs. Angel, Uriel, and Tina, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the support. Let's see here. More on the Patreon. Do you think, James Rodriguez, do you think, oh yeah, we've already kind of answered this. Do you think Roman will turn into a heel that is so good at being a heel, fans will cheer and embrace him more than they ever did in the last 5 years? Yeah, yep. if they do it right, that's how it works. That's how it works.
What he's done so far is an indication, yes. Rand Wildman, so it begs the question, would Steve and or Larson take the payday for the ass whipping that comes with it?
For a kind of payday that Roman's talking about? Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think headlining a B-level pay-per-view in a match against Roman for the Universal title? What kind of payout is that for Jey? Obviously, it's not going to be the same as what Roman is getting.
I get the feeling that if this were the kind of payout that went down in like the 90s, yeah, because like you've seen every once in a while, you'll see, hey, look, it's the payout sheet for a random WWF show in like SummerSlam 92 or something, and like the main eventer is always getting like 6 figures. I mean, it was Hogan, but it, even his opponent does pretty damn well.
Yeah, well, he always, like UFC in boxing matches, whoever is the star of the main event gets a larger payout.
Gets significantly larger, depending on for
on
sure.
the opponent,
yeah.
So if Roman's getting 50,000, what does Jey get?
Roman ain't getting less than 100,000.
I'm just throwing a number out.
I'm just gonna say 100,000. I'm gonna say Roman in 1991 would get 130,000. Jey would get 76,000.
25.
25,000 for Jey Uso in 1991. Mm-hmm. our math is so wrong. You're gonna say 25? All right. Yeah, for $25,000. Yeah, I'd take that ass whooping.
You get a kayfabe ass whooping?
I don't know. 25 is kind of low. I need like a
You need something to cover any possible medical bills.
I need like
any medical bills.
I need like 3 times. I mean, I would be like, hey, look, I have a limited moveset. And when I say limited, I make, the 5 moves of doom look like freaking Zack Sabre Jr. All right. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. They're like, okay, well, first what we're going to do is you're going to take a bump because Roman. Whoa. Who said anything about a bump?
Say, has Roman ever won a match with a headlock? No.
Well, guess
First
what?
Time for everything.
He will now.
First time for everything. Oh no, Gaming with Cage says T-Bar disabled comments on Twitter.
Yeah, he did that from the get-go. He did that from the get-go.
It's a one-way conversation with T-Bar, huh? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. One-way conversation with T-Bar. Let's see here. Eddie Brock's Venom. I know you have so he says he likes Otis a lot. People keep on saying he's going to cash in and lose it, but why? He's got until next May or June till his contract expires. Plus, there's a draft coming up. I guess he's saying, he doesn't have to cash in anytime soon. He could just, potentially wait. Well, he's got a lawsuit now. So, but yeah, if you were Mr. Money in the Bank, I mean, you'd have to wait this whole Roman thing out, obviously.
Well, then your contract might expire before that happens.
Yeah,
and
but
who's the odds-on favorite of taking the belt off Roman, if anybody, on the SmackDown roster now? Fiend. You don't mess with the Fiend.
I would do this. I would Seth Rollins
to get drafted to NXT.
I would. Yeah, that's not a good. That's not a terrible idea, because then you have to wait till the very end of a takeover match, which you're just, trying. If I was stuck on the brand with Roman, I would cash in probably midway through a Fiend match, because and I would maybe see if the Fiend match can be in all the red lights. Just add some confusion to it, That's what I would try to do. I don't know. I wouldn't like my odds.
No, odds would not be good.
Yeah.
Odds would not be good. Struggle Bus is Roman getting the Rock treatment. Good guy that gets booed and a heel that gets super cheered. Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's how it works. Let's see here. Rain Trigger. Hey, friendo. So my birthday was on Tuesday. Can I get a shout out from Big Red and Dijak? Happy birthday, Rain Trigger.
Yeah, it's your birthday. It's the Arby's night.
But you can't comment on this. T-Bar. It's not Dijak anymore. It's T-Bar, people.
It's T-Bar, I know. Jorge D, with all the recent Family Feud talk, which WWE superstars would make the best team?
Yeah, we've been talking about Family Feud a lot on on our pre-show.
Yeah.
We were watching last night. There was this family, and I swear the question was, oh man, name something that makes the house smell good. Number one answer was cooking. Mm-hmm. But that was the last thing that anybody got. In fact, nobody got that.
Really?
Yeah, there was 6 answers on the board. The family that played got 5, but the number one answer was missing. It went to the other family. They said something that was basically like what they had already said and was already on the board.
Oh my
Dawson himself, after they gave that answer, but before he revealed it, said, what about cooking? Because he doesn't have access to the answers, evidently.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. So they couldn't say, yeah, we want to go back now.
Yeah.
Survey says cooking was number one. But before that, he got to the last guy, and I swear, he just looked at Dawson and was like, I don't know. And he was waiting for the buzzer to ring. I'm like, dude, say something.
Yeah,
say anything that has to do with the olfactory sense.
Yeah.
A bit of a dullard. I love the dullards on Family Feud, man.
Did anybody say tearing up the bathroom, dropping a huge number 2?
No, it smells nice. Makes the house smells nice.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
Like a good candle. Like a nice candle.
Right. Not like somebody deuced into your bathroom and left the door open.
Yeah, man. Didn't light a match or anything.
Yeah, no, it was cleaning products and incense. It was the 70s, so incense was a thing.
Yeah. Fear and Loathing, do you think having no crowd eliminates, we totally didn't answer that last question, eliminates any chance, even a 2% botch, that Jey could win the title?
No,
I think even with the crowd, there was 0% chance he was going to win.
No. If they didn't give that Brock victory over the Ray victory over Brock that one time with a hot crowd and Dominic there, they would never give this to Jey.
To answer the previous question, the best team would be the Undisputed Era with Kevin Owens.
I don't know what the question was, but that is the best. Yeah, that's
which
the best
superstars
team.
would make the best team?
Yeah, that's the best team. Did you see Adam Cole's very like out of character, like Kyle O'Reilly, I love you like a brother. This is your moment. Go shine.
Yeah.
It's like he found Jesus all of a sudden.
Scooter says, can you congratulate me for winning $1,000 while I was making baseball picks? Congrats, Scooter.
Good job, Scooter. Way to gamble. Let's see here. Enshive says, no questions tonight. I was in the Thunderdome. I can confirm that there's a guy that tells you to get excited whenever the camera is about to pan to the crowd. And for the 30 minutes I was there, I never heard him tell me to boo or cheer anybody. He always said, here comes, insert name. Show us how you feel about them. Let's see here. TV title Oscar. Yeah. The Discord really doesn't ask questions. They just get excited about things and then say them. But then they tag us as if they are questions. I need actual questions from the Discord, please.
Questions, please. Flats says, I like the imagery of the Fiend and the Lady Fiend always looming around that belt. Who's next for Bray between now and when he gets Roman? They seem to not really feel like Bray needs to wrestle all the time.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know if he'll get in any other program until he gets the Roman program.
I wonder if Bray signed one of them Daniel Bryan schedules. Or Randy Orton. It's not even a Randy Orton schedule. It's like it just show up once in a while schedule. It's great.
Yep.
This guy is like, he's so creative. He booked himself into basically a vacation. Mm-hmm. Like a permanent vacation. Show up every once in a while. You kick out at 1 on everything.
Kick out everybody's finish. 5 finishes. Doesn't matter.
Only in the main event.
Well, unless it's Goldberg. You don't kick out of Goldberg's finish.
Nobody kicks out of Goldberg's finish. Except for Braun. Yeah, what? That's crazy. That guy is so creative. He just booked himself into dream schedule.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Zondo, should Bliss become full-time supernatural character, or should she get a fiend-like persona?
I do think she should. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Not like permanently, but I think it'd be awesome for her to, like, I don't know, have some cool rebirth. Look, man, whatever Bray Wyatt wants to do with her character, I think she'll kill it, and I think it's probably going to be really cool. So whatever he wants to do, I'm on board with.
Fear and Loathing, I know injuries have played a part in it, but will this angle get Alexa Bliss back into the title picture if somehow Nikki walks out of Clash of Champions with that Smackdown Women's title, is to get into a program with Alexa Bliss?
I agree. That'd be something else. That'd be interesting.
Night by Night, Bliss staring down Roman made me wonder if the story were right. Could you see Fiend-possessed Alexa going after some of the targets on his behalf? WWE, of course, tends to stay away from intergender stuff, but Fiend powers are so omnipotent and undefined right now that I think they could do it in a really compelling way.
I'm not sure how. I think this is just one of those things where it was a bit of really cool. It was kayfabed happenstance, a little bit of creepy foreshadowing. I thought it was really effective. I don't think it has to be a thing where she then goes out and does his bidding.
She drops Roman with Sister Abigail or anything like that.
She just has some weird, residual connection to him that's starting to manifest, and it might play out where, he has more actual direct control over her or not. I kind of like the idea of it just being like, the residual side effects of being involved with the Fiend in some way, shape, or form. And it's like coming and it's sort of manifesting itself. And he's not actually directing the action or anything. It's just sort of, it's just there with her now. But we'll find out.
Rich asked, hey, Friendos, where's the new merch you opened up last Saturday? FriendoMerch.com. Friendo merch.
Yeah, FriendoMerch.com. That's where you can get our new merch. Does he mean the stuff that he sent us?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Oh,
that could be it.
I got my Patriots jerseys over there.
I got it. I washed it. It's right there.
I haven't washed my stuff yet. It's over there.
So yeah, it's right over there. It's in the clean laundry basket right there. I see.
You got the titles over there, Rich. You can see that.
Yeah, mine's back there next to Big Red and Big Gold.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I saw this. Is this whole thing with Miz in order to give him an edge in character? I mean, it just feels like it's the Miz being Miz.
Yeah, it feels like they're giving the Miz something to do.
Yeah.
He's probably going to become the next Mr. Money in the Bank, though. He's totally going to take that thing out of Otis.
O-Dog says, are you guys leaving the 500 subs thing on the right side of the screen here for the Twitch stream? It still says 500 subs with the date of the 24-hour stream.
The problem is it's connected to the road to 1,000 subs thing. Oh, you know what I can do? I forgot. I can totally crop that.
You can crop it, right?
Wait a second. What is this image? No. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm going to crop that thing now.
Zondo says Cesaro beat Sami Zayn with the headlock once. Wow.
Nice. Well, there you go. That's my out.
Wow.
All right, here's the deal. We start with the headlock. That's the match.
There you go. There you go. White Brownie asks, which champ or champs loses their title before Survivor Series? We got some title changes happening in our Clash of Champions predictions.
In our predictions, we've got title changes, including the WWE Championship. There's your spoiler. Anyways, we got any more?
I'll end on this one. Outlaw Batman. Do you figure if there's no fans at Mania, we'll see Big E or The Fiend versus Roman Reigns? Assuming there's no fans at Mania.
There will be fans at Mania. There will be. There 100% will be. Florida is going to be like, hey, guess what, sporting venues? You can open to 200% capacity.
That's
you can
right.
have 2
Double
people
capacity.
per seat. So, yeah. We're demanding that everybody in our state get COVID. That's going to happen. I don't think the fans, yes or no, yay or nay, fans are going to be there, going to have any. I think that Vince is treating Thunderdome like there's fans.
Pretty much.
That's what's going on right now.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Maggie said, throw an X up on yourself, Steve. That's what I do. Get into a headlock.
Like, what's wrong? What happened? I just got tired. Got sleepy.
What happened? Look at this guy. Look at this body. I can't take this.
Like I was going to throw up.
I felt like I was going to throw up by running. I ran the ropes.
Took every ounce of energy I had to do that.
Mr. Sinister says, every seat has to be mouth-to-mouth seating.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
WrestleMania 37 Super Spreader.
There you go.
The new Super Spreader Championship. All right, everybody. That's it for Friday night. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you'll join us on Sunday for Clash of the Champions.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of the fun. So thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.